On a humid night in Kuala Lumpur, the world was unaware that a routine flight was about to become one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 was scheduled to depart at 12:41 a.m. local time on March 8, 2014. The Boeing 777-200ER was a workhorse of commercial aviation, trusted and revered for its safety record. The aircraft carried 239 people, 227 passengers, and 12 crew members. Among them were a young couple returning from their honeymoon, a tech executive heading to a Beijing conference, and a mother with her toddler embarking on a family reunion. In the cockpit were two pilots, Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, a seasoned aviator nearing retirement, and First Officer Fariq Abdul Hamid, a promising talent on his last flight before promotion. The plane lifted off into the night sky, leaving behind the bustling city lights. Passengers settled into their routines, unaware of the strange turn their flight would take. At 1:19 a.m., as the plane transitioned from Malaysian airspace to Vietnamese control, Zahari's voice came over the radio to confirm the handoff. That was the last anyone heard from MH370. When the clock struck 1:22 a.m., MH370 vanished from civilian radar screens. It was as if the aircraft had been plucked from the sky. Kuala Lumpur and Ho Chi Minh City controllers attempted to establish contact, but their efforts were met with silence. There were no distress calls, no emergency signals, just an unnerving void where the plane should have been. Military radar data later revealed that MH370 had deviated from its flight path. Instead of heading northeast toward Beijing, it turned sharply to the west. The plane flew over the Malay Peninsula, passing Penang Island, and then headed into the Andaman Sea. The trajectory baffled experts. Why would the aircraft stray so far from its intended route? By morning, the world was waking up to breaking news. A commercial airliner had disappeared. Families waiting at Beijing Capital International Airport were ushered into private rooms as their hopes turned to anguish. The initial search concentrated on the South China Sea, where MH370 was last tracked. Planes, ships, and satellites scoured the area, but days passed without a trace of wreckage. Then came a chilling breakthrough. Analysis of satellite signals showed that MH370 had continued flying for 6 more hours after losing contact. The new data pointed to a remote region in the southern Indian Ocean, a vast, forbidding expanse of water where few ships dared to venture. With no debris and no definitive answers, speculation flourished. Aviation experts, investigators, and amateur sleuths began crafting theories, each attempting to explain the inexplicable. Some believed a sudden technical malfunction, such as a fire or depressurization, incapacitated the crew. The plane might have flown on autopilot until it ran out of fuel. Others turned their attention to Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, scrutinizing his experience and knowledge of the route. Data from his home flight simulator revealed a simulated flight path eerily similar to MH370's final trajectory. Was this a deliberate act of despair or protest? The possibility of hijacking also emerged. Could a rogue passenger or crew member have taken control of the plane? The lack of communication and radar evasion hinted at deliberate human intervention. Yet no group claimed responsibility, and no ransom demands were made. External forces became another point of speculation. Some posited that MH370 fell victim to a missile strike, an act of state terrorism, or even an unthinkable accident during a military exercise. Others, reaching for the extraordinary, whispered of alien abductions and Bermuda Triangle-like phenomena. Each theory sparked fierce debate, but none provided definitive answers. The silence of the Indian Ocean was deafening. After months of searching, the first tangible clue appeared in July 2015. A piece of debris, a flaperon, was found washed ashore on Réunion Island, thousands of miles from the suspected crash site. The fragment was confirmed to belong to MH370. For families, it was bittersweet, proof that the plane had crashed, but no closer to understanding why. More pieces followed. Wing parts, interior panels, and engine components discovered on beaches in Mozambique, Madagascar, and Tanzania. Each fragment told a story of violent impact, yet none shed light on what led the plane to its watery grave. Meanwhile, the underwater search became the most extensive and expensive in history. Sonar equipment mapped the seafloor, revealing shipwrecks and underwater mountains, but no sign of the aircraft. The operation covered an area larger than the United Kingdom, yet MH370 remained elusive. By 2018, the search was suspended, leaving the final resting place of the aircraft undiscovered. For the families, the lack of closure was agonizing. The ocean seemed to mock their pain, holding its secrets tight. The disappearance of MH370 reshaped aviation safety. Authorities mandated real-time tracking of aircraft, ensuring that no plane carrying 239 people could ever again vanish so completely. New protocols for cockpit security and emergency communications were introduced, aiming to prevent another MH370. But for those left behind, the changes offered little comfort. The passengers of MH370 were memorialized in plaques and gardens, their names etched in stone, yet their stories remained incomplete. In Malaysia, conspiracy theories flourished, while in China, grieving families gathered annually to demand answers. The mystery also captivated the public imagination. Documentaries, books, and podcasts dissected every clue, each promising new insights but delivering few. Some saw MH370 as a cautionary tale of human error and technological failure. Others saw it as an enduring enigma, a reminder of how vast and untamed the natural world remains. Even now, as the years pass, the Indian Ocean holds its secrets. Somewhere beneath the waves lies the wreckage of MH370, entombed in silence. Perhaps one day, a breakthrough will come, a new piece of debris, a clue buried deep in the ocean floor. Until then, MH370 remains a symbol of the unknown, a ghostly shadow that haunts the skies.